Hello students, welcome to Get Set Law. So today we'll be discussing a very important question that I've seen students asking quite some time, that which exam out of CLAT and AILET is the tougher one? Which exam should we take? Which exam we should not take? So today's session is all about that which exam you should consider, what is the relevance of both the examination. So make sure that you're watching this video till the end so that you understand the relevance of both the examination. Let's get started then. So when we talk about when you can pursue this examination, so you can pursue this examination, both the examination after class 12th. So you are eligible to pursue this examination when you are in your class 12. You will be able to appear for this examination. So both CLAT and AILET examination you are able to appear. Next is the admission to which universities consider these scores. So when we talk about CLAT, you have 26 NLUs all over India, pan-India, which accepts CLAT scores. So total of 3,000 plus seats are available. Again, to give you a simple analysis of both the examination as compared to AILET, which is only considered by NLU Delhi, which has 120 seats. Now consider one thing here, that when you appear for CLAT examination, you have a broader scope of getting into an NLU because there are more than 3,000 seats available. But when you appear for AILET, there are only 120 seats available. So that is why the level of difficulty or maybe the level of competition in AILET is tougher as compared to CLAT. This is one of the reasons. Let's look at other factors. So when we look at the exam fees for both the examination, this is a chart that I have prepared for you to give you a brief idea about the examination. So when we look at the exam fees here, so CLAT, the total fees is 4,000 rupees, the examination form fees, and for AILET it is 3,500 rupees. So there's not much of a difference in the exam fee, right? Exam time, again, both the exams happen on either first Sunday of December or on second Sunday of December simultaneously. One exam will be conducted on first Sunday, second exam will be conducted on the second Sunday. So more or less you will have both the examinations scheduled for December, right? When we talk about competition, one thing to note here is that because there are more than 3,000 seats available, the competition in CLAT examination is comparatively higher, with 60 to 65,000 students appearing for this examination. At the same time, you also have a higher chance of getting into an NLU because there are more number of seats here. But when we talk about AILET, last year for 2025 batch, this year the figure was 18,717 students appeared for AILET 25 examination, right? So here for 120 seats, again you have a competition. You have approximately, you are competing with 19,000 students for those 120 seats. So if we look at the competition, you will have a better chance of getting an NLU in CLAT as compared to AILET. Now coming to the subject. So when you look at CLAT paper, the paper pattern is little bit different. So here you get passages on these 5 sections followed by questions, multiple choice questions. So you have English language, which covers general, where you have to step into the shoes of the author. You have to find out tone, you have to find out subject verb agreement, you have to find out conclusion, you have to find out the main idea of the passage. These type of questions are generally asked. When we look at general knowledge and current affairs, again you get a passage either on static part or on current affairs part for last 1 year before the examination, and that you have to prepare properly, from which questions can be asked, events you are supposed to cover here. Then the legal reasoning part, a basic principle is covered in the passage itself, on the basis of which you have to apply that knowledge which is given in the passage while solving the questions that is following the passage. Then the logical reasoning part, it will contain 2 things. It will contain critical reasoning, identifying the arguments, stronger argument, weaker arguments, fallacies and all inferences and all these things, as well as the analytical part as well, like clocks, calendar. These type of questions also you can expect in the logical reasoning part. Last is the quantitative technique. Here you can expect questions from ratios, percentages, average, proportion. So if I have to give you a little bit of breakup here, so approximately 120 questions are asked. 120 for 120 marks. 1 mark is allotted for every correct question, and there is a negative marking of minus 0.25 for every incorrect answer that you have attempted. There is no negative marking for unattempted questions. And total duration that you get here is 120 minutes to solve this 120 questions that is here, right? So this is the paper pattern for CLAT examination. As compared to AILET examination, you get 3 sections only, that is English language, again general knowledge and current affairs, and logical reasoning. Now you might be thinking that what about quantitative questions, what about legal questions? So some questions from these topics are included in logical reasoning section itself, right? So you get questions in English language, some of the questions from grammar, some of the questions from vocabulary, such type of questions are asked. Then the past 1 year event and the static event is again important for AILET, and apart from that, for logical reasoning you have to prepare for analytical reasoning type of questions like clocks, calendars, direction, blood relations, syllogisms, etc. Little bit of conceptual knowledge of legal, and apart from that, little bit of basic elementary maths. Some questions are sometimes covered in the examination. So just to be sure that your preparation is foolproof, you are supposed to prepare these questions, right? If we talk about total marks for AILET examination, so here total number of questions are 150 and 1 mark is awarded for each question. For every correct question you get 1 mark. For every incorrect answer there is again a negative marking of minus 0.25, and total time to solve this question, so solve the entire paper, is 120 minutes. So time, duration, marking scheme, paper mode, which is also offline for both the examination, is more or less similar. Now if we look at which exam, if I have to give you the final verdict on the basis of this analysis, that which exam is tougher, so I would suggest that cracking AILET is little bit tougher because you have less number of seats, you have more competition in this examination. That is the only thing that is making this exam tougher. Otherwise, if you look at the paper pattern, if you look at the subject coverage, time given, everything makes up for the paper and the level of difficulty. Also, if we look at the difficulty level, we have seen that CLAT paper have moderate level of difficulty, but AILET paper have moderate to high level of difficulty. So that makes AILET exam comparatively tougher than CLAT. But at the same time, I'm not suggesting that don't appear for AILET examination. But what I'm suggesting to you is, if you are preparing for CLAT, also appear for AILET examination, because paper pattern is not that different. Paper pattern is more or less similar. So it's always better to have more options with yourself, right? So make sure that you're not skipping out on this examination. You're appearing for both the examination. And if you found this video useful and informative, then please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. If you want me to make more such comparative videos, do let me know in the comment box. See you all in the next video. Thank you so much.